Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome again to my podcast, Snack Thoughts. I say again, welcome to my podcast, Snack Thoughts. And what is my thought for this Friday? Well, I was listening to some other YouTubers, and they did show an article also pertaining to single women in Japan and overage and the shortage that's going on with their population. Now, for those of you who may not know, Japan's population is heavily aging, and they also are not producing as many babies or offspring. And so this is not to offend anybody, but this is what the Japanese government is proposing. Supposedly, they are offering $75,000, for black men, and I'm saying again, black men to impregnate Japanese women. Now, I don't know if it's to impregnate and marry, but I think it's to get the women pregnant. So I guess maybe the Japanese guys, are not getting involved heavily in marriage and dating relationships. There's a movement in Japan that is called the Herbivore movement. I believe in China they call it lying flat, but the Herbivore movement is similar to what is known as MGTOW. In this MGTOW movement in the United States, Canada, Australia, and other parts of Western society. Now, I'm gonna try to get back to my original point, but I'm trying to give you some background. MGTOW, the acronym basically is MGTOW, and it stands for men going their own way. Now, where are these men going? Okay, and why are they going their own way? Well, obviously, because of some men feel that the marriage laws, child support laws, the Me Too movement, they just feel that there's some things that are unfair, and that if men get involved in marriage and dating relationships, it's like they feel they're being raked over the coals, or they don't want their resources taken, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And some of these guys, they are tired, I guess, of feeling like they're laboring in society and carrying a load and being used and, I guess, abused, and not getting a fair deal, saying, out of the dating, marriage, and also the society that we live in. So in Japan, it's the same thing, except it's called the Herbivore men, whereas in Japan and Asia, a lot they work very long hours, and a lot of the guys traditionally were company men, and so they're tired of working the long hours, handing the paycheck over to the wife, or either it's so expensive. In Japan, it's very expensive. And so that's another reason why the men and the women are not reproducing or starting families, because they're trying to survive for themselves. And what it's come down to, I guess, is the men are tired. They feel, overworked, underappreciated. And it's like it's easier for them to take care of themselves if they don't have enough resources to how they feel to adequately take care and support a family. Then they don't want to start one, and I can understand that. And so, but what's happened is that this herbivore movement in Japan has really spread rampant, and so the men are not dating as much, and they're not having sex as much, and as a result, the population in Japan, this is going on in Asia, period, has begun to really to decline, and it's causing some problems, because their population is aging and they don't have replaceable numbers. So what has happened is that in desperation, the Japanese government has basically reached out, and basically like a bounty, put it out to black men to please come and impregnate Japanese women, and basically $75,000, per kid. I mean, this is nuts. you know? And I was thinking to myself, it's like, well, okay, well, why they pick black men? Why didn't they ask, there's other men, why didn't they ask, say maybe other Asian men of other countries? Why didn't they ask, white men? There's other men, but it's like, why do you specifically target? But that's basically like asking black men, we'll pay you $75,000, basically to be a sperm donor, per, whatever, how much you can put out, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So basically, you want to make Japan turn into a place that has a bunch of single mothers in order to get your population numbers up, And I feel that probably in Japan, they may have made some mistakes with their system. In some ways, the system in Japan is very rigid, and they don't break the rules. Once they set the rules in place, they kind of stick to it, and their society tends to function that way. It's not flexible, or they don't necessarily have the freedom or autonomy like you do in the United States. United States, we bend the rules, whatever money can buy, anything, there's always a policy or exception to change, whereas in Japan, it's more rigid. But what's happening is that I guess they fear maybe a societal collapse and eventually extinction if they don't get, reproducible numbers up. But that's the problem that they're having. But they have reached out, and $75,000 and want for black men to get, Japanese women pregnant. This is crazy. I've seen and heard of things before, but this is the craziest, and then even in China, they're having a problem with Asia. They call it leftover women. And so in China, they've got millions of leftover women, and they're looking to get, once again, black men, to marry the leftover women in China. This is nuts, But why in the world? I don't know. Why in the world they pick, black men? I have no idea. I don't know if it's because maybe the stereotypes of what they see on TV. I guess supposedly the stereotype is that maybe brothers like to have all these kids out of wedlock. And the Japanese government wants them just to get them pregnant, and they don't have to take care of them. And I'm just like, what? But yes, $75,000, a pop. But I'm just like, that sounds nuts to me. It's like, that means you have to have really gotten so desperate in order for that to happen. And even in the United States, there's desperation in terms of population decline and replaceable numbers. That's why they're repealing, the abortion laws, or they're changing them, and they're starting to change them in certain states because they want the women to start producing or reproducing, because somebody has to pay for Social Security systems and Medicare and all these other taxes that we have. And from what I understand, the United States is like 30 million short in population and replaceable numbers to put into these systems, 30 million. And I guess they say it's because they allow women to have so many abortions. And so that's why all these numbers are missing. But Japan is even worse because Japan is not as doesn't have as many people as the United States. They have a lot of people for the size of that country. They do. They have a lot of people, but the population is aging and aging fast, and they need to produce babies. So it's like and from what I understood, Japan was more or less a homogeneous country. Not saying that they didn't mix, but generally speaking, the population was mostly, Japanese. It was homogeneous. But more to come, guys. But you can Google it. It's out there. You can Google it. Japan willing to pay $75,000 for black men to impregnate Japanese women. This is nuts. This is crazy. But I don't know why they pick brothers. I have no idea. That's one that's a big stereotype. But anyway, I can't tell people what to do. I know, like I said, I wouldn't participate in it because I don't believe in making babies and not knowing and being in my children's lives. So I don't know what they're trying to pull, but this is a desperate measure. I guess they're trying to save the society from collapse, or their population from extinction. Anyway, that's all I have on this one. And the name of this podcast is Snack Thoughts. That's SNAKZTHOUGHTS. And I also have a YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube. That's ERICBROADUS. Eric Broadus YouTube. And you can find this podcast, Snacks Thoughts, on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and a host of other social media outlets to include Spotify. So please join and subscribe to Snacks Thoughts and push it out and share it. Please. Also, for my YouTube channel, Rick Brothers YouTube, go over there, smash the bell to become a subscriber. Leave a like on the video or unlike. And please leave a comment. Love to dialogue with you. Everyone is entitled to their opinion and has a right to be heard. So please share both Snacks Thoughts, Eric Brothers YouTube. Please subscribe to both and push it out to friends, family, frenemies, enemies, cats, dogs, whatever. Push it out, guys. And I have military content coming out this weekend. So stay tuned for those that want the military content. I'm coming out with it this weekend. All right, guys? Peace out. Catch you on the next one. Later.